Art break. I'm back in my basement and I'm trying something a little different. So you should be able to see what I'm doing. Now I figured out that maybe I can use this white marker to clean up the messy edges of my painting that I've been working on. So we'll see how this goes. But I just thought I'm not feeling very motivated to work on my writing today. Had a meeting this morning with the Crone Authors Together group, and it's a very good meeting actually because it brought up something that I hadn't really considered, and that is we all know how divisive the idea of AI is, and I am not a fan of AI. However, we also all know that AI has become so prevalent that it can be hard to avoid it. And today's meeting was actually a discussion, and here I'm already getting messy again. Today's meeting was a discussion of AI and the fact that we really can't avoid it. Because when people are doing online searches, the search engines are using AI to find the answers to whatever questions the person was asking. So, for example, for authors, if readers are looking for our books, then we unfortunately will be dealing with AI, or the people who are searching for the books. The answers are most likely going to come up based on AI. So it used to be that authors needed to optimize for search engines, or SEO, search engine optimization. But oh boy, now I've got white on my blue. The modern searches are generative optimization for generative AI. And for many of us, especially creative types, we really don't want to deal with AI, but we can't avoid that if someone is searching for our work. So we need to make sure that our work is being optimized for those kinds of searches, which means that there are some things that I hadn't considered related to AI and how people find my books. So, boy, my little paintbrushes have gotten pretty stiff. Let me get this loosened up here. I guess I'm just a messy painter. I'm a messy person overall. That's just the way it is. But let's see if we can at least clean this tiny bit up right here. So AI searches really can't be avoided right now. You can opt out, but I think many people don't. So we're kind of stuck with what we've got. And that was the big discussion that we had in our meeting today. So I was looking at how I can optimize my bio and my book descriptions for generative AI searches. And oh, look, I managed to get blue paint on my fingers this time. So I learned some interesting new things, and I am trying to implement what I can without actually going into the use of AI, because as a creative, I do not plan to use AI ever in my work if I can avoid it. There are some things, depending on what kinds of programs we use, it can be difficult to actually avoid AI. So, doing the best we can to avoid it as much as possible. And I don't know if I'm improving this or just making it messier, but this is what we're doing today. So that was an interesting meeting, and it did give me a lot of food for thought because I would like people to find my books. That's kind of the point of publishing them. Writing is a whole different ballgame, but publishing is, I kind of want people to actually read what I've written. So now, once I clean this up a little bit more, I wonder if I can just right here. A tiny bit maybe. A little bit more even. But I would like people to find my books. So that's what we're going with. We're attempting to make the books more easily accessible to readers. And really, I'm not feeling incredibly inspired to work on much of anything today, like I said, so that's why I'm back here at my painting. Let's see how this goes. Just going to paint the background. Let's see. I think that background is supposed to be a teeny tiny bit darker yellow. So let's see. We will use let's try see if you can see this. This is the Prussian blue. So I'm going to add a tiny, tiny bit of Prussian blue to my yellow, just a dot, if I can. Trying not to make too much of a mess here. But yeah, it can be a little bit hard. So let me see, what have I got here? Have I made it a darker yellow? Have I made it green? It looks like I've made it green. Oh, what the heck, we're just going to go with it because really, it doesn't have to look exactly like this picture here. You can already see that the L is very different from what it's supposed to look like. So I'm just playing around and doing what I can do with what I've got. And this is my first time attempting this specific type of project. So we're just going to go with it and make it all personalized. So this is what happened when I added the Prussian blue to my yellow. Actually, maybe I'll add a little bit more yellow and see what happens now. Go back in that direction. If I can. Let me see here. Seems to be a little, oops. And now I have yellow all over my hands again. Oh, like I said, I'm just a messy, messy painter here. And I've lost my lid somewhere. Ah, it is. Excuse the noise. This is going to be a very interesting video, isn't it? Okay, so we're not too happy with that shade of yellow there. So let's take it a little bit back to more of a yellow, I hope. We'll see. I don't know if this is improving matters, but we're going to give it a try. Not really. Okay, so it's going to be kind of a dirty, whatever, green-ish. Yep, this is what happens when you don't follow the instructions. But again, part of the point of doing this is to have fun, to play around, to learn things. That's kind of my goal in life, is to just play around and have fun and learn new things. So that's what we're doing. Try to keep it from getting too messy in here. So I'm afraid that ship has sailed. Oh, I do have plans to do more artwork because my cover designer is working on the cover for Battleborn Bride right now, which is exciting. But I also want to do some character art relating to the book. So I plan to do some sketches because the main character in the book, Sarah Jane, is actually, that is one of her leisure activities, is to sketch and paint. So I'm going to lean into that and do some characters for my book. As though Sarah Jane is doing them. So we'll see how that goes. Man, this is really going to look like a little kid painted it, which, you know, is really okay, because I think as a child, we are so tuned into our creative side and we're a lot less afraid to take chances, that, you know, doing a little bit of messy work here and there that harkens back to childhood is not a bad thing. So we'll see how this turns out in the end. And I don't know, this kind of turned out like a pale green now. It is definitely unique. Anyway, Sarah Jane, artist. Some pivotal moments in the story relate to her artwork. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it too much, but I'll be definitely doing some artwork as Sarah Jane, and I'm going to hopefully have character art ready to go. I might do some little character art cards that I can give out at book events in October when we are promoting Battleborn Bride. So that will be exciting. I'm also hoping that once the cover is done, I can get a book specific bookmark. I can design one to go along with the book, so that we've done that with the Serving Salvation universe for JT, that we have actually got some bookmarks with the covers of those books. So when he signs those books, he gives them out. They're specific to those books. So I want to do something similar with Battleborn Bride. The person who buys the book gets an autograph, they get a book specific bookmark, and then they, something a little bit special, because we do have our generic bookmarks for our little publishing company, but those don't really, aside from the QR code on them, they don't really actually market our books at all. So may do some of that. My character cards. I would like to actually make some stickers, design and make some stickers at some point. We'll see how that goes. But, it could end up being about as messy as my painting here, which is okay, because, this is not meant to be stressful. It's not meant to be perfect. It's just a fun activity for me to do when I don't feel like doing other things. And I know people who work in art, like as a career, would probably find this horrifying. But again, this isn't my career. This is a fun little activity. I mean, it could be. There are artists, I could pretend I'm maybe an impressionist. I think it's really much easier to create my own art, because then I can kind of follow along with my own feelings as I'm doing it and not trying to follow someone else's pattern. But this is definitely turning into an interesting experience. But back to my idea about stickers, I think it would be fun to have some. I also hope to get back into photography a little bit because I do love photography and I do have fun taking photos. I kind of want to do what you might call local photo safaris that would allow me to explore the area, have some fun, take some pictures, and then maybe print up those pictures and turn them into either greeting cards or postcards. And we could also sell those in our booth when we do a book event. So we could have a little bit more variety in what we're selling. So those are some of my plans as I go forward into the fall. I do want to get out of the house a little bit more often because I feel like I've been cooped up writing for quite some time now, which is great. I'm happy to be writing. Really love writing, but I also like doing other creative outlets. So, yep, this is definitely a mess. Oh, love, 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 love. All you need is love. Yes, I sing too. Not well, but I do. I don't know if I do anything really well, honestly, but really the point is to have a good time, to relax, to enjoy ourselves, and then go from there. So that looks like about all I can do with this. This is not final. I'm going to play around with it a little bit later, see if maybe I can clean up some of the rough edges again. But for all intents and purposes, we'll call that project done. This is the reference image, and this is how my version turned out. So thank you for joining me this afternoon for this little art break. I hope you enjoyed my messy painting. I might do a little bit of cleanup on it again and see how it turns out, and then I'll show you the finished project. And of course, I still have, excuse me, another one here to attempt. We'll see how that goes, but that was today's excitement. This is how, try not to get paint all over my hand again. This is how it currently looks. Not terrible, just a little bit messy. I may hang it down here in the basement. We'll see how that goes. But I really didn't have a lot of motivation to do much of anything today, as I mentioned earlier. So I just thought I would play around with my paints a little bit. I still have a little bit of paint left from that project and the pens that came along with it, these things. So I'll see if I can make it look a little bit more finished and then, I don't know, find some place down here in the basement to hang it. I actually have a fairly empty corner over in the opposite side. I have an easel over there where I plan to do some larger paintings, and I'm hoping that maybe I can set up some spaces to hang those paintings when I finish them, so I can have my own little gallery down here. And we'll see how it goes. But just trying to do something fun on a day when I really don't feel like working on my books. Like I said, my cover designer is currently working on Battleborn Bride, so that's exciting. And I will do a cover reveal once I get the final version. And that will be the kickoff of my promotion, my marketing for Battleborn Bride. Is once I get that cover in hand, I'm going to go full force into marketing that book. So if you're new here, please stick around for that. It could be interesting to see how this goes. At the meeting this morning, we also discussed how one author did her marketing for her books. So I might use some of her recommendations. She did a virtual book tour on book blogs. So if I get to do that, I will need to actually start interacting with some book blogs, because you don't just jump in there and ask them to promote your book. You have to have a little bit of interaction with them first. And I don't know if I'm actually going to have enough time to do that, but I can give it a try. But I do hope to at least send out maybe some advanced review copies. Um, I'm hoping that Book Sirens will accept my book and allow me to do the advanced review copies that way. So we'll see how that goes. And just we'll see what other kinds of plans I can come up with. We're very close to the 3-month mark for the full release of Battleborn Bride. My hope is to have physical copies in hand at the beginning of October, but the book will not be widely available until October 31st, 2026. So this is going to be a whole new experience for me, because previously I've just kind of been fudging my marketing. Like a few days beforehand, I'll say, hey, I got a book coming out. But I'm actually putting weeks and weeks into my marketing plan this time. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll see if that actually leads to me changing my marketing plans for future releases. So I really don't have much going on up here today. That's why I seem a little scattered. And I think part of the reason is that I haven't been sleeping real well. It's that time of year where I don't sleep as well in the summer as I do in the winter. And, because of the heat, and then we'll have the windows open, kicks up my allergies. There are fires, but I don't think we're getting a lot of the smoke here. I do feel bad for people who are in very smoky areas. So it's just a lot of environmental factors that kind of add up to prevent me from sleeping well. And I'm sure that is true of many people who are out and about in the world right now. And I hope that things aren't too bad where you are, because it can be pretty miserable when it's really hot and smoky. Ugh, I hate it. But I think I'm going to call it here. I hope you're having a good day and a week, and we'll see if I have anything a little bit more interesting to talk about tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Take care.